I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And 4 months later, In the Club hit, and it was over. And it was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tight to wave out.
People compare you to Tupac Shakur.
I'm finna put them niggas out of business. They don't start putting out some real music, niggas is gonna go out of business. Cause this shit changing. All of that fucking bubblegum shit and singing on every record, that shit's not gonna be effective much longer.
Curtis Jackson, a.k.a. 50 Cent, was born in South Jamaica, Queens in 1975. His mother, Sabrina, gave birth to Curtis when she was only 15 and raised him alone until she died tragically in a fire when he was just 8 years old.
I found her laying dead.
Someone put something in a drink, and then they turned the gas on.
Left in the care of his grandparents, young Curtis was drawn into the streets, learning to survive by selling drugs during the height of New York's crack epidemic. Along the way, he starts to develop a passion for hip-hop music. By the age of 21, he meets Jam Master Jay, who took the time to explain the fundamentals of songwriting to 50. Learning how to craft songs the right way, 50 soon lands a deal with Columbia Records. In '99, he recorded his first studio album, Power of the Dollar, which was set to be released in 2000. But before it could be released, one specific song from that album got 50 almost killed.
Yo, when you hear talk of the Southside, you hear talk of the team. You niggas fear Prince and respected Preem. Boy, you slow motherfuckers, I'ma break it down iller. See, Preem was the businessman and Prince was the killer.
I got shot right here. I was sitting in the car, nigga was waiting, double parked, he was waiting on me, right? He like came up and pulled on the side, like right here. Yo, the nigga hops out, now peep this, look, the nigga was real, like a real sneaky ass nigga, cause he came around the back of the car. So like he like this. And black broke shit, fell out the back. I'm like, yo, fuck up. Nigga, he froze up. Nigga, 9 shot, I don't fuck you, ain't pull up. I'm jumping around the back of the mother car, see, you know, you can stick spot like, what the fuck you gonna do? I'm trying to hit back at the nigga, he was so close that as soon as I try to buck back at the nigga hit my hand, like bang, like he bumped down. And shit hit my hand and came through my pinky and shit. This shit down here. But I keep it with me. It's just over me. It went through my face right here.
Kenneth Supreme McGriff was a drug kingpin from Queens, New York. He got out of prison in late '90s and started working with murdering behind the scenes. 50 spoke about street business, mentioning his and other names on the record, and also he kept poking at murdering after his friend robbed Ja Rule, and that's why he got shot 9 times. After hearing about this, Columbia quickly dropped him from the record label, fearful of the violence that followed his name. So his debut album was heavily bootlegged and never properly released. 50 made too much noise, and shortly after the shooting, he was blacklisted from the industry. So he went to Canada since he couldn't find a studio to record music in the States. He flooded the streets with mixtapes. Eminem heard the mixtapes, and the rest is history.
I heard it. I brought it to Dre. Dre heard it. He was sold.
And I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Eminem, he had got his hands on a copy of a mixtape that I put out through my attorneys, Theo Stedemeyer. Paul Rosenberg is Eminem's representation, and they have a relationship, so that's how he got the CD.
Em is real cool, like, you know, his characters, when you meet him and you get a chance to really be around him and get to know him, real cool.
Give it your done, and he did it. You see that? He did it. He set it all up. He knew it was gonna happen. So when it happens, you know that he knew it was gonna happen.
You heard it here first. MTV News.
50 Cent. We out here in Queens, in front of my grandmama's house. Chilling. This is my DVD for my new album, Get Rich or Die Trying.
50 Cent Mania is in full effect.
Follow me. Let me show you how I do this right here.
My man 50 Cent. Wankster, hot. In the club, hot.
It's your birthday. He a bad boy, you know what I'm saying? He a bad boy.
50 Cent Mania is to rap what Beatlemania was to rock music back in the day, man.
You feel a lot of pressure?
The G-Unit General has the #1 album in the country with the bullet.
50 Cent has hit music. I told you I was getting hot.
Reborn after getting shot,
re-signed to Shady Records, remixed by M and Dre.
I wish my first album was this high.
People compare you to Tupac Shakur.
That's a scary comparison.
So no matter basically 3 years, you've gone from literally fighting for your life on a gurney in a hospital with full of bullet holes to being the hottest rapper in the business right now.
I'm almost the hottest rapper. I signed to deal with the hottest.
You signed to deal with the hottest rapper.
Hey, M, you know you're my favorite white boy, right?
Y'all know what time it is. Soon as 50 signs on this dot.
I had actually been in a slump, like, where is hip hop gonna go? And then when I heard 50 stuff, it was like, when I heard his new, it was like, oh, okay.
M is the rapper's rapper. He listens to everything. Every word, every slang, if you change something, he's gonna hear it all. And M likes to build records around him.
You shouldn't throw stones if you live in a glass house. And if you got a glass jaw, you should watch your mouth.
As an artist, M uses so much of his life. It's visible. Like, you know who Kim is, you know who Haley is, you know how his relationship with his mother is, because he uses his life. And my music is similar to that on that note. Like, I use my life, but it's more a description of my neighborhood, my hood, you know, and that's what I wrote about. And he was able to see those qualities in me early. You know, that's what drew him to me.
What about Dre?
Dre, like, he'll play beats, and then it's like, you got these beats, then he might charge you half of your budget for, and then you have these beats over here, you know. But the automatic, these are the hits, 50, so pick one of these and make a couple of singles or something.
Do I think Eminem and Dr. Dre is responsible for a lot of my success? I'm gonna say, hell yeah.
And what does Dre tell you? Can you share that with us?
Well, you know, try to tell me to stay focused, you know, because I told him in the beginning what I wanted, like my intentions weren't to just be trouble. Nobody wants to buy a problem. I sold crack during that whole time period. I had no option. How else would I provide for myself financially? And I just had my son. That was the reason why I started attempting to do music. I'm not trying to impress anybody with any of that. This is the situations that have just happened. These are the cards I've been dealt. You feel me? I actually wouldn't glorify you being gangster. That's nothing you're supposed to glorify. That's something that happens to you. You don't say, I want to sell drugs. I would never sell drugs if I didn't feel like that was absolutely the only way for me to progress at that point. I had stopped selling drugs in order to rap.
I've been patiently waiting to blow, ladies and gentlemen.
The things I'm writing to you are about my experience. You know, it's entertainment, but it's definitely my reality from the hood.
And while 50 claims there's no glory in being gangster, his thug lyrics are a big reason he's on top of the game. But what's his real motivation in life? 50 Cent is a man driven by many things, from God,
gotta be something, gotta believe in a higher power,
to money,
if it's bling bling, must bling laugh,
to fear.
Ain't nobody gonna tell you that he's scared.
In this motivated approach to the game, there's only one reason why 50 Cent is already being compared to a rap legend. With my a.k.a. I'm still the thug that you love to hate.
You know, because of a lot of the things you've gone through in your life in terms of kind of a dysfunctional family situation, being shot, you know, now having the heart of the street on your side, you know, and then you're always in the media now. People compare you to Tupac Shakur.
That's a scary comparison. Because Tupac is a legend. I'm just a new kid.
It's a lot of similarities in the way he lived and the way you live.
When you get in life-threatening situations, I think that might have been why Tupac started writing like that so much. After he'd been shot up. You know, you find yourself in life-threatening situations, you kind of got to deal with that mentally. That, you know, if you're not in control of it, and death is promised, he who fears death is in denial.
You got a song called If I Could Make It to Heaven. You know,
gotta make it to heaven for going through hell.
So you believe in the heaven and the hell?
Yeah, like, I believe in God.
By this point, the 50 Cent storm conquered the hip-hop scene. 11 million sold worldwide. He also introduced the world to G-Unit and The Game, and was getting ready to drop his second album, The Massacre.
You've had this success, you don't need Eminem and Dre to sell records anymore.
Em and Dre both for Boston. So now I fit in, and I fit as a third party, and I'm working my way to being respected as if I'm equivalent.
Break down your beef with Ja Rule.
A friend of mine's
robbed Ja Rule. And I'm in the club, and I see the nigga, I'm like, hey, what's up? You know, chilling. He see me kicking it with the nigga that robbed him, and he feel like, oh shit, I shouldn't speak to this dude, because I know the kid robbed him, but I know this kid, I grew up with him.
So yo, 50, what's the definition of a wankster, man? I mean, what is that?
Irv, Ja are bitches. Like, these niggas don't got no hood in them. You wanna call yourself a murderer? Then you need murderers around you to make it believable.
He's nobody.
That's the whole wankster thing.
That's his personal opinion. If that's the way he feel about Ja, that's his personal opinion. Ja's my dog. We bang together, you know what I mean? Straight up and down. It's murder for life. I'm from the good hood, from ghetto. I came straight to Murder Inc., straight from my cell. Listen, I'ma get at 50. However, whenever, whatever, man. It's like 5 of us and 5 of them, and niggas is getting it on and fighting and bang. Some way, somehow, the lights got hit off and niggas was getting it on in the dark. One of the niggas with 50, like, yo, where the gat at? What? I just start hitting niggas, fine. Cause I first thing kicked in my mind, if niggas get to the gat, one of us is dead. Lawyers let us know. Now, I mean, niggas was pressing charges. Niggas said that I stabbed them, and then I stabbed a few people and all that. They gave a statement on me. That's the statement that's floating around.
You ain't shit, nigga. And you starving. When I go through the hood, it's cause I'm so hood. When you in the hood, it's cause you stuck in that motherfucker. Ain't that them niggas can't make a record that makes them relevant.
It's obvious when you name your company Murder Inc., you would like to portray a certain image. His music does not coincide with the image that he would like to portray. He'd like to be like 50 Cent. He'd like to speak about things that happen in the neighborhood that they won't accept from him because he hasn't lived anything like that. His life is nothing like that.
I'm New York City's own bad guy.
What are the possibilities of this ever just being squashed and maybe you guys doing a record for charity? Is that possible?
Impossible. What's possible is that he can progress on his own while I progress doing what I do. This isn't impossible for us to ever be friends.
You got a record called Piggy Bank.
Yeah.
And in this record, you diss Fat Joe, you diss Jadakiss, and you diss Nas.
You know, I didn't diss anybody. I made factual statements about them.
I'm from New York.
This is how we do. That song, New York, features Jadakiss and Fat Joe rapping alongside Ja Rule, whose own beef with 50 stems from an old street rivalry in Queens. In 50's eyes, that means they've chosen sides.
They come from environments where they know, and they ain't in the dark. They know what it is. This is not music beef. Now, it doesn't stem from music. It comes from actual street. Now, that don't die. So it's like, you don't stand so close to that person that you viewed as an ally to him. Well, I'm gonna sit back so you can try and help him. That's exactly what they did with I'm from New York.
Now, on The Massacre, 50's upping the lyrical ante.
If you keep responding, I'll keep going until you don't exist anymore.
So you're not fearful of the backlash that could come from
Backlash of what? First, you gotta have a legitimate opponent to respect them. Fat Joe and Jadakiss, come on, baby. It don't even count, baby.
I mean, combined, I mean, they sell records. They got credibility.
They sell 1 million. They probably sell 1.5 together. Their last 2 releases add up to 1,500,000 copies, both of them together.
Jadakiss is a well-liked guy. There's not many people in too many places who doesn't like him.
If you want to be technical, there's a lot of people, a lot of places that don't even know who Jadakiss is. I've been in markets that have no idea who Jadakiss is. You know, I performed in Nigeria in front of 100,000 people by myself. Go to Nigeria and ask them about Fat Joe and Jadakiss. And I don't know who you're talking about. Dubai, go there, go to all these different places. They don't know these people.
What happened with R. Kelly in the summer when you went on stage and verbally attacked R. Kelly?
He had made the song that he has out with Ja Rule and Ashanti.
Just like Fat Joe and Jadakiss, R. Kelly's appearance with Ja on the track Wonderful made him guilty by collaboration. And that drew 50's wrath before Kelly took the stage at a New York radio concert last summer.
There was a possibility we bringing him out, so I damaged the situation before he had an opportunity. I went on before him, I said what I said, and as I left, 60% of the building left with us. And I mean, he came out about 45 minutes later and did his set. He didn't bring Ja with him, but he could've. So I had to do it to him because he could've. I don't actually have issues with R. Kelly.
You don't have an issue with him, but he probably has an issue with you.
I can go about no issue.
So that was like a preempted strike.
Yeah.
All right.
At this particular point, if I let up off of Murder Inc., right? They linger for a little bit. People start to feel like it's okay to like them. They get back in position, and guess what? They want to fight again. You know, now they want to, ooh, peace treaty, white flag, everybody, ooh, please get up off us. This kid is killing us. But when you let them get back up on their feet, they want to fight again. That's why I said, for me, when you begin to destroy, you should destroy completely.
When do you get to the point, though, that you ignore those things and it's beyond you, it's beneath you, so to speak, and it's like, oh, come on, man, that's a fly hitting a brick wall?
You know what I think their actions come from their interactions with the guy in the spot before me. That's Jay-Z. And I think Jay-Z, he doesn't mind them saying things and doing what they're doing because he's looking at him like, yeah, bum ass. You know, so he ain't saying nothing to him because he feel like they're beneath him. You know, but I got the time and energy to ruin what is left of there. Where I'm making up almost 70% of the black music at Interscope Records. So it'd be a long time for you to see me just disappear because I took my energy and I've utilized it in the right ways to create new artists, new avenues. Let's say 50 Cent record doesn't meet standards. People decide they don't want to buy it. That doesn't damage Lloyd Banks, who's going to continue to sell records. Doesn't damage Youngboy, who's going to continue to sell records. All game.
50 crushed his competition, but there was a new problem he didn't see coming. 50 Cent helped start Game's career and steer it in the right direction. Game had success, but his manager Jimmy Henchman kept whispering into his ears how he can be better than 50. The tensions quickly escalated, resulting in a beef between Game and 50.
I remember that whole shit. I remember I was in the W, that whole shit, and he was telling me, yo, they about to sign me to G Unit. As soon as they sign me and I get platinum and all that, I'm doing what 50 did to Jai and all this type of shit. I'm like, you sure you want to do that? He's like, fuck that, blood.
Everyone really must be leaning into you about the Game situation.
Yeah. For me, you know what? The Game situation was disappointing to me. You know, I put so much time and energy into that project. I worked hard on that project, man. I recorded 6 records on that album. For him to come back and appear to be unappreciative was incredible to me. When he had issues with Jay, and I got a phone call from him. He was in Amsterdam when he called me back in the States, and I told him, I said, just sit tight, let me see exactly what it's about. You know, I'll get in contact with Jay and see how it. Before I could get back to him, he went on stage and told everybody to suck him off. I'm not comfortable with that. That's not how I function with my crew. You know, they wait until I say make a move because ultimately everyone looks like I'm responsible for their actions. So it's like, if Banks pop off or Yayo pop off at somebody, you know that they already said to me that they got a problem with this person, and I was like, yo, you know what, go ahead.
The streets are saying that the documentary was better than the massacre, which it is, and 50 got jealous and kicked me out of G Unit, and he thought that he could do what he did to Ja Rule to me, but I'm the people's champ, man, Raps MVP, you can't get rid of me, man. So it'd be kind of hard to hide a 6'6" guy, 215 pounds. 50's a little guy, it's a little stocky, but I think, you know, I think I could take him, man. 50's a jealous little girl, man.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, he's jealous, and somebody needs to braid his ponytail and put him back in his skirt, because, I mean, he's obviously off his rocker, man. But I dropped 300 bars, and now G Unit's starting to fade away in the U.S.
I really don't understand where the actual situation went bad at, you know? But I liked him enough to do as much as I did for his project. I wrote 6 records again. And because I liked him that much, I feel like I can resolve the situation with him. I didn't hate him. It's just one thing that he said one day that upsetted me to the point that I, responded.
I went up there. 50 was talking about me on the radio.
So you went up there to address it?
Yo, what's happening?
Yeah.
And so 50 and Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, they didn't want to come downstairs because they were scared. I had the whole Black Wall Street with me, and they didn't want to come down, so they sent their police down.
What happened in 97
You was up with Flex.
Oh, yeah, I was on the radio, so I don't know what happened downstairs, you know what I mean?
But, shots got popped.
Yeah, that's what they said.
That's what they would do.
I wasn't.
AllHipHop.com said, copped it in the leg.
And that's what I got from the newspaper.
And the police came down, and they came out, and they were so intimidated that they pulled out guns, and my guys start walking towards the doors, and they start shooting at the ground, and shots get it up, hit my man in the leg. And 50 security. But see, I have security, but you know what I'm saying? It's more or less crowd control. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't need police or anything.
Someone getting shot like that that's real.
How's Dre feeling about all the beef? Is he caught in the
Dre and Eminem, Jimmy Iovine, the whole label just backed out and kind of just let me and 50 do what we do. We grown men. So 50 barked up the wrong tree, and instead of finding little pretty birds, he found the big ass gorilla sitting up there, and I just pounded the whole G Unit.
He's gonna move forward in his direction on his own.
Yeah. Not G Unit.
Well, he has to create his own situation. I think it's Black Wall Street, I think.
Okay.
He's gonna create his own thing. That's what this is about, really.
Yo, the piece is nice, man. Wall Street, crazy.
Black Wall Street, G Unit. So you remember the conversation we had last time?
Yeah,
and I was
things
still
have
G-Unit,
changed.
but I told you we was kind of it was kind of a conflict. Now I'm on my own, man.
I mean, how you feeling about that?
I'm really feeling like fuck 50. That's what it is, man.
What's incredible is when they think this is how much the media loves trouble. Because days before that, you know, it was a rap war. It was on the cover of the newspaper. You see, they love the trouble. Us on the cover of a rap war.
Yeah.
There's a lot more going on in the city. They just want to promote that and make hip hop look negative.
50 tries to be a West Coast artist. He just happens to be from Queens. But in the future, you're gonna see less of him and more of me and Hurricane, man. I'm game. I'll do my parts, and Hurricane, my alter ego.
Yeah.
You know, he doesn't like 50 too much, man.
So what happens?
He says mean stuff, man. Like 50 can suck my, you know. And then he says Lloyd Banks can, and then Young Buck, and I can't control him. So I mean, but he's his own guy, and you know, I don't think that he'll ever like blow up because he just, you know, he's too confrontational. The only regrets I have is that I told Dr. Dre that I wouldn't respond to 50, and I went against the grain, and I did it anyway. And so you know, I like fucked over Dr. Dre, man, in that way, and like I'm so apologetic, and that's my boss, man, and you know what I'm saying, and everything he's told me to do thus far has worked out in my favor, and I think that I should have listened to him. But so much anger bottled inside me from 50 and G-Unit just trying to assassinate my character that I had to annihilate him, and I did it, and that's in the past, and me and Dre focused on going back in and working on my album.
Well, you know, I'm not really forgiving. To my knowledge, neither me or Dr. Dre is working on Game's next album, so he'll have to go create it from somewhere else.
Well, Dre ain't messing with it.
No, he can't. Come on, man. How you gonna mess with it? If I'm not messing with it, how's Dre gonna mess with it? Then that means me and Dre got beef. Everybody sees my pattern.
How could you have an assessment on a person who's flip-flopped their entire career? He almost bipolar. If you watch it, like the way he does things, like he'll do it like he's extremely emotional, extremely aggressive. I ran into him out in the nightlife when I came around. There's a lot of stuff was being motivated by Jimmy Henchman. And I think his real issue was with Chris Lighty, because he was in the same field.
Who was a pillar of hip hop? Chris Lighty.
Right.
Who wanted to be like Chris Lighty? Jimmy Henchman.
Yeah.
What did Jimmy Henchman do? Move on the same block as Chris Lighty.
Dre blew up an East Coast nigga, an East Coast, you know, whole movement. He had to blow up a West Coast now.
Yep.
I'll tell you the poison in that was Jimmy Henchman.
Do you think that was a
Jimmy Henchman never liked Chris Lighty. So Chris Lighty always had like hate from people because, you know, he had P. Diddy, he had 50, he had Foxy. The Henchman beef, I didn't know the guy. I felt like it was inherited from, you know, Chris Lighty.
This beef exploded when Tony Yale and Lodi Mack ran into Jimmy Henchman's son outside Henchman's company office. Allegedly, the kid was wearing a G-Unit shirt. They pressed him about it, and Lodi Mack allegedly pistol whipped the kid. Shortly after this, Jimmy Henchman personally shot up the house of Yayo's mother, and Lodi Mack was killed. 50's close friend and manager Chris Lighty was found dead from an alleged self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Jimmy Henchman eventually got sentenced to life in prison for the killing of Lodi Mack.
I didn't realize how much I trusted Chris till not long after he died. It really brought home to me what a huge role Chris had played in my career. I've really struggled to fill that void since Chris passed. I know I'll never find another manager like him, but there is someone out there with similar qualities that could help me, who could take some of the burden off me and allow me to focus on the bigger picture, who could advise me, push me towards even greater achievement, who could understand both 50 Cent and Curtis Jackson. So the question I have to ask myself is, have I lost faith in my ability to judge people astutely? Or have I been uneasy opening up my life and career to someone the way I did with Chris? Because to really let a manager do their best work, you've got to let them into almost all aspects of your life.